What's going on, New York Giants fans? Welcome back to another edition of New York Giants Conversation. And got a couple things I want to conversate about today when it comes to the New York Giants. And one of the things is wide receiver is a big topic in the news for the New York Giants for several different reasons. The draft is coming up, and so we're going to get into that. John Harbaugh had his press conference. We're going to get into that. Please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe for Unpopular Opinion Sports. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all that do support me, as I'm kind of the black sheep of the Giants community. But it's all good because I'm giving you the real spill right here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick the intro off. Let's get into some Giants conversations.
Welcome to Giants Convo.
All right, we are back here with New York Giants Conversations. Of course, I'm your boy, Unpopular Opinion Sports, aka NYG Double Deuce. So, New York Giants, of course, got the NFL draft coming up. The owners' meetings going on right now. And that's where a lot of the news, aka smoke, is coming from. They do a lot of talking at these owners' meetings. So we're going to get into it. Like I said, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe button. And first thing I want to talk about here is a possible Odell Beckham Jr. and New York Giants reunion. So there's a lot of people talking about it. John Harbaugh did mention something about this in his while he was at the owner meetings. So we're going to take a listen and see what he has to say about a possible Odell Beckham Jr. reunion with the New York Giants.
This kind of resurfaced back in the news because he did some impressive things in that collab against Odell Beckham, who worked with him for a year. Is that something you guys are planning to want to explore, a potential reunion here in New York with him?
Yeah, well, I mean, the obvious pat answer would be look at every option, right? And if Odell's an option, then we'll be looking at it for sure. And he and I do talk and we do text and we maintain a really great relationship. He's one of my very favorite people in the world. So it's not like, you don't talk to guys about things like that. And certainly we have. We'll just have to see where it all goes. What's best for him, what's best for the Giants. That's the number one thing. It is what's best for our team. And any player, if he helps you be a better team and can make you better, then you're going to pursue that. So we'll just have to see where that goes.
We got that right there from Mr. John Harbaugh, saying he and I do talk, and they throwing out stuff in the media about John Harbaugh and him, Odell Beckham Jr., that is, meeting up. And but I do wonder, because he did mention what's best for the Giants. Is bringing Odell Beckham back to the New York Giants? Is that what's best for the New York Giants? I don't know. You tell me, is bringing Odell Beckham Jr. back to the New York Giants at 33 years old? He served a suspension last year, didn't play last year. Of course, you know, the Harbaugh connection was when he played in Baltimore. Spent time in Cleveland, of course, played in the Super Bowl with the Rams. But all this hype over him playing flag football. Y'all bugging, bruh. Now, I know OBJ got talent. I got 2 of his jerseys in the closet. But by no means is he going to come in here and be like your number 2 receiver. Because that's what Giants fans are going to expect. They're going to expect him to play better than Darnell Mooney, to play better than Calvin Austin, better than Slayton. It's the expectation and the hype around this has got me like, I don't think this is a good move for the New York Giants. Because, for one, what do you think OBJ is going to give you at this point? Because people and fans and media pundits alike that are wanting this expect him to come in here, whether they say it or not, God damn it. Y'all expect him to come in here and ball out and go ape shit with Jackson Dart at quarterback, Cam Scatterball, Malik Neighbors, and y'all expect this to be some explosive offense. I don't think that guy right there on the screen is trying to build that type of team. Let's pump the brakes. Let's bring it down a little bit. Another thing, OBJ, as proven before, during his time with the New York Giants, now he has matured, but just the attention that man receives is a huge distraction on a team. In my unpopular opinion. And then you're looking at the injuries. So if he go out there and get hurt, how y'all gonna feel then? Y'all gonna trash him? Y'all gonna support him? Stick behind him? This is how fickle the New York sports media and market is. Everybody's on board with it now. But when shit don't go right, y'all turn y'all back. If I'm Odell Beckham Jr., I'm staying the fuck away from the New York Giants. I'm trying to go get on the Kansas City Chiefs or one of them AFC teams. Because you coming over here, back here, and you don't excel, and then you got to think, what are you paying Odell Beckham Jr.? Giving him a vet minimum deal? Okay, cool. So what is he, just a mascot? Or is he planning on playing a major role on your team? Now you got to talk about the football field aspect of it. You already signed Darnell Mooney, who, according to some, is a fucking legit dude. And then you got Austin out there, I guess, for the slot. And you still paying Darius Slayton, who nobody wants on this team. Apparently. Where the fuck's Odell Beckham Jr. fitting into this? Okay, neighbors. What you gonna put him in over Austin? Who you paid? How much are you paying OBJ? See, these are questions motherfuckers don't ask. Just go out and sign him. Yeah, bring him home, man. Woohoo! Y'all true frat boy energy out there. Use your dome piece. This signing don't make no sense at all, in my unpopular opinion. John Harbaugh said he want to do what's best for this team. Do what's best for this team and leave OBJ alone. If OBJ wants to make a comeback, let him do it with another team. You can always bring him home and retire his jersey at the end of his career. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, he'll never come back to the New York Giants. It's just as a player on this team at this moment, I don't think it's a good idea. That's leading me to the next part of this. All right, so here we get into what John Harbaugh had to say about the offensive line, defensive line. So let's take a listen.
What's your feeling about where the offensive line stands right now?
I think the offensive line is like our team. It's a work in progress. You know, I mean, the whole team is a work in progress still. We don't play until September. We have a lot of work to do, but the offensive line and defensive line, I think we talked about it right from day one. I mean, that's where games are won and lost. It's where it starts. We've got to try to build the best offensive line and the best defensive line in football. That's got to be our goal. It's probably, maybe it's a one-year proposition, maybe it's not. We're going to find out. We're going to sure try. We're going to try to be the best in football on both sides this year. But we've got work to do in there. We still have free agency available to us. We still have the draft. And we also have really good players already. Really good players that are going to play really well, that we're going to get ready to play really well. So very optimistic about both sides of the lines.
All right, so John Harbaugh mentioned the fact that the offensive line was still a work in progress. And I think that's one of the key takeaways for me out of this whole press conference thing, because he talked about building the best offensive and defensive line in football. Now, the Baltimore Ravens had one of the best offensive and defensive lines in football, and that's how they were able to win games a lot, despite, sometimes having not the greatest skill position players available to them. So it is about the big boys up front. Him saying it's a work in progress is music to my ears, because that lets me know that he can't go in there with goddamn on Evan Neal and John Michael Smith and John Runyon in that interior and not have no other real good options there. That's why he said he's going to try to do it in 1 year, but it might be a 2-year project because they might not be able to get somebody that was better than Greg Van Roten last year. Depending on what's left in free agency, like he said, and in the draft. Now, the draft is interesting now. Could the Giants go offensive line at 5? Because what Harbaugh also said was that they have needs. Yes, they have needs. The New York Giants have needs, and it's not pressing needs, but it is something you can't ignore. We know what those needs are. O-line, interior, D-line, interior, corner, wide receiver. Some may say safety. I say safety because I don't like either one of them safeties. So you need some secondary help. Let's just put it like that. I don't know if the Giants should go O-line at 5 or if they should consider a trade down and maybe targeting somebody like the kid from Penn State. So there's options in the second round as well. And then he talked about the defensive line. So I could see them going D tackle in the first round. But at 5, I don't know. See, pick 5 is real interesting this year. Because normally with a high pick like this, you want one of those premier cornerstone players. But the Giants already got a lot of those guys in place. You got your edge rushers. You got your quarterback. Would they consider a corner? Because I don't think you got one of those. But the only corner you may even consider taking that high is Delane from I believe it's LSU, but I'm not taking a corner if I'm the Giants. It's too scary. They're gonna say, I hear it now. Can't be scared. Da, 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 da. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? You don't keep playing to lose. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't cashing in at a certain position in the first round, try something else. Try a different way. You know, we got a first round bust on the roster already with Banks. But in a trade down, I would consider it. But at 5, top 5 is rich. But there ain't really no prospect kind of jumping out at you, so to speak, with that pick. Some say Sonny Styles, some say Caleb Downs, some say Jeremiah Love. All 3 of positions, when you take positional value into consideration, not really the spot you want to be taking those guys. But I think in this draft, if the Giants stick at 5, they're going to end up having to do that. Because one thing you can't do is reach. And you can't reach for a supposed need when you're saying that you don't really have no pressing needs. You got needs, but they're not immediate or pressing or dire, I should say. So when you go O-line with a guard, I would consider it. If you're going to consider linebacker and fucking running back, why wouldn't you consider guard? Remember, the boy Quentin Nelson from the Colts, Pro Bowl guard, was drafted in the top 5. So you got to consider that. If you're going to consider safety at 5, why wouldn't you consider guard? So am I tripping if I think the Giants should consider taking a guard at 5? I mean, you're talking about Vega Ione from Penn State. I mean, that's what you're talking about, because he's the top guy right now. Would you consider him at 5? That's the question I'm gonna ask y'all. Because if you consider running back and you consider safety and you consider inside linebacker, you have to think about guard. And guard is your most pressing need. You don't need a running back. You don't need a linebacker. You just signed one. You got McFadden. Can you upgrade at that position? Yes. But do you need one? No. You don't need a safety. Can you upgrade at safety? Yes. Do you need a safety? Not necessarily. Guard? You need a guard. You got Evan Neal, a guy that hasn't played guard for a full NFL season in his career. So what are we talking about? You need a guard. So that's what I'm talking about. O-line at 5, particularly guard. Now, you're going to take Maui Noah and try to move him inside, or Fano and try to move him inside, or why don't you just take the damn guard? Stop playing games. That's what I'm saying. But that being said, don't want to make this a super long video, so I'm going to cut it here, give you guys some more content on the next one. Some other things I want to talk about. Might do a little mini mock. Get into some other things for the New York Giants. Definitely got my top 5s rolling out here soon. I'm working on those right now, so be on the lookout for that. We're going to get those out before the NFL draft is here. We're going to do, I decided to do top 5. I'm going to do top 5 wide receivers. I'm going to do top 5 corners. Top 5 guards. Because those are the 3 positions that I think are the most pressing to me on this team. Now, people might say wide receiver. We debate about these wide receivers. I don't like them. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't necessarily like the Austin, Mooney, Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton group. I think you can get better there. Definitely, we talked about guard. That's an actual need. So, y'all tell me what y'all think. Leave your comment in the comment section below. And I'm going to get back to y'all on the next one, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in, and see y'all round. Holla. Peace.